It's probably only going to get easier from here, especially considering I need to get this little bike all the way across this gap and back again while being out of the way of the jets, without any really good way to support the middle, unless I do something halfway clever like that. So far, so good, and we still have about $40,000 to work with. Alright, out of curiosity, does the bridge even hold itself up? It does that. The bike is very light, so that's not going to be a problem. Getting the hydraulics to work, that's going to be the biggest challenge. Just wanted to add one piece of steel to hopefully make the bridge hold up better, and that didn't work very well. But making the triangles bigger sure did help. So now if I'm seeing this right, all I have to do is make this piece move and this piece. So let's add a few of the hydraulics and see if this is actually going to work. Yeah, I forgot about that part. Since the hydraulics make the middle part of my bridge basically floating, I've got a better idea. What if I just squeeze the planes in between my bridge? Does that work? That might actually work pretty well. Well, it's gonna work eventually. And then again, I might run into the same exact problem because the middle of my bridge is gonna be floating, but I can at least do a hydraulic on one side. Or better yet, do something really stupid, like just anchor the two sides of the bridge together with some wood. Since the ropes kept breaking, let's try steel cables. If that seems to work, this might actually work at this point. The bike's gonna cruise on across. There's some work to do. That's okay, we have $15,000 budget. I'm just gonna start chasing the pieces that break now one by one and replacing them with steel until this thing holds up. It's not gonna be pretty. It's gonna be a patchwork bridge, but it's gonna work. We got the bike to go across. Now as long as it makes it back without doing that, we're getting so close. From the beginning, the bike cruises across, stops, lets the jets go through because I basically built around them. The bike jumps across the next gap, gets to the checkpoint, turns around, hops back over, and it still falls apart. How about now? The whole thing breaks. That's not good at all. I think maybe by adjusting the angle of this ramp so it's a little less abrupt on its landing might help. And after replacing these three with reinforced road, I think that's going to be it. The bike will jump across, no problem there. We know this part's all well and good. It's coming back that it was having its issues. And it's done. $10,000 under budget. Challenge level complete. Momentum, only 7 roads to get the buggy to that flag. These are the kind of levels I like. So if we use 3 of our roads to make the car jump from there, it doesn't get very far. However, if we give it a little bit of a jump, it's really not a very fast vehicle, is it? I think it actually went less far. This one is going to be challenging because it's probably going to have to look something like this, and I don't have any springs. And also, whatever I build down here, I'm going to have to brace against the ground, which is going to eat up extra budget. But it's not going to be that bad. It's mostly going to be trying to make that train wreck work. And that's actually closer, believe it or not. Maybe like that? Closer. Its front wheels touch down first. I moved the whole bridge a little bit forward. That way the nose would touch down. Hopefully sooner. We're getting close. Because currently it's hitting pretty nose heavy. This might be the perfect angle. Or it might be a long ways off. But we're about to find out. Hopefully it makes our transition nicer than I think it will. And if you build a perfectly flat bridge, it's even worse. I thought it might shoot the car a little further, it doesn't. But now that I've pointed my road back downwards again, it's actually a lot nicer than it was before. Now it just feels like a matter of adding enough steel to make it strong enough to support this landing and then launch the car farther. Almost there. And we still have $10,000 budget to work with, so I'm pretty optimistic we'll get this before too much longer. I want to do it without breaking the bridge, but it flips the car over now. Okay, this one works. It flips the car over, kind of does a front flip, but it works. Doesn't break the bridge. We're all good. Perfect. Judging by the gallery, most people did it with just a single bridge that just ramped all the way from the beginning. They didn't have to gap it like I did. Only 8 wood and fewer static joints to get this large truck to that side. Okay, so we have 8 wood, 2 pieces of steel and some cables. And also not a massive budget. This is my first idea. I really doubt this is actually going to work, but stupider things have worked before. And yeah, okay, I might actually be onto something here. I thought this was an absolutely stupid idea that would never work. So if we just make everything smaller, we get closer to budget. In fact, I would wager these don't have to be steel at all. They can be wood, which doesn't put us under budget, but it puts us a lot closer. Despite what I think is a pretty good idea, I'm still having trouble actually making it work under budget. This one works and it's only $271 over budget. It's so close, but I don't know what to do about it. I'm really hoping something like this somehow works, though I'm not super confident. That's probably why. This might be close to the answer. Yep, this seems to be it. Just needed to cut it down to 4 cables instead of 6 because they're very expensive. Then it's just a matter of distributing the parts you need where you need them. Max stress was only 99.7, so I had lots of wiggle room. I thought a design like this would be fun with a little gap at the end, but I didn't think there was any way to make one strong enough to hold a dump truck up. $50,000 dip and draw, only one hydraulic and a larger boat, so we gotta go under and then around the boat. Then we're gonna start from here, then start manipulating things until they fit. Like sneaking under this hot air balloon, probably something as simple as that. Just curious if my stupid design is gonna hold up at the beginning. Yeah, if it wasn't for the other part of the bridge collapsing, that might not be too bad. Let's try that again. Okay, that doesn't work and the ambulance doesn't fit anyway. Here's where we're at. The bridge is still collapsing, but we're making progress. $20,500 spent, and so far the ambulance is pretty happy to just bump its way along. The entire thing holds up. I just now remembered the part where it says one hydraulic. So here's my initial design. I'm really not sure this is going to work, but we're certainly going to try it. And suddenly this side of the bridge is breaking again, despite the fact I didn't change a single thing about it. Alright, that seems to be better now. I just wanted one reinforced piece of road. That's not gonna work. Might need a steel cable or something. Does steel cable work? It actually might. Oh, it's going too far. It's just a matter of getting the hydraulic right, which 40% isn't quite there. 42% it still tips over, so 41% isn't the magic number. I have to redesign something. I guess what I could do is make it pivot from here instead. That is a pretty big span to be pulling with a single hydraulic, but we'll figure it out one way or another. Okay, got it more or less to where I think it's going to work, just need to adjust the hydraulic again. All I have to do is reinforce this, that way when it pulled this way, all this was enough to absorb the force going that way, and I think we've got it. Bridge goes down. Our little moped should be able to cross that no problem because it's a little moped and we're $13,000 under budget. Weight distribution. I remember this one was really hard without being a challenge. No rock or balloon and only one static joint. And only 6 pieces of road to use. I so far have no idea how to do this. So I built the bridge to there, but there's nothing actually supporting it. So I'm going to need to do some steel frame and springs or something. Probably something like this. So far, that's not too bad. I might need a second spring, but that's not as far off as I thought it would be. So if we put a second spring on, is that going to help at all? It's still slipping out very slowly, which is alarming, but that might work to my advantage somehow. Although I'm starting to have my doubts. So I basically just hooked it onto the side there, that way it can't slide out, and we'll eventually balance this until the ambulance gets to where it's going. Until this starts to happen, I stretch it so that it sucks the springs in, but then it sucks the ground up to it. I think I've got a bridge design that I more or less like overall. It's just going to be a matter of adjusting the ramp now. So far, I've succeeded in this. I get the moped to the first flag, and I get the ambulance also basically to the first flag. This one's probably going to take a long time. So far, this is realistically the closest I've gotten, and it's nowhere near getting down there. Using a single spring on the right might actually be the answer, because it gives less resistance to the ambulance going by. It breaks everything, but we've got $6,000 to figure out that problem with. For the first time ever, I got my ambulance to get where it's going, but something broke somewhere here, so we do more steel everywhere. But then again, I don't think I need that piece at all. I'm not really sure where it broke. I might need to watch that in slow motion. I might have found a design now that's gonna work. It's just a matter of adjustments and turning wood into steel so it actually holds up. I'm really thinking I've designed this bridge all wrong because I struggled with it the first time. I'm struggling with it this time, and it should be pretty straightforward. Eventually, I will figure out a way to make this bridge hold up.
Eventually.
Because if I put more springs in somewhere like here, this whole thing can fold down lower with a heavier load, like an ambulance. And it can do weird things like this, which is actually to my benefit. Don't think the ambulance is gonna like that particularly a lot. Maybe just the final section of road though, this can really be a difference. It turns out lots of springs might be the answer. I thought fewer springs was gonna be the way to go, maybe only one, but look at that, we're actually getting close. I'm actually gonna give up because it's very late and I'm getting no closer to an answer.